Oh, hey guys. JB's VDC. We're back in. What up? Boop, in the chat. Um, so we had our first successful Outlast 2 stream yesterday. And that was fun. We're gonna be doing more after today's stream. And I already ate, so it's not gonna be that much of a gap. It takes me a minute to set up because I gotta move my laptop. But yeah, um, let's go through some stuff I was working on this morning, and then get into the writing. Let's do our plugs. So my first book, Senate Awakening, paperback is available for $20. Kindle Unlimited is free $99 minus $99. Kindle Digital is $10. Please, if you can, give it a rating. If you give it a rating and review, I shout you out like these lovely people down here. I'm gonna read the first 5 chapters free. That's available on scribblehub.com and wattpad.com. If you want to support, there's a donation link in the chat. And that donation link is also in the panels and in the description on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, consider subscribing. And Patreon is in the panel and the description as well. So, let's go over some stuff I was looking at. I'm not looking at, but I'm jotting down. So I have the next short stories for the Resistance, kind of. I have the gist of them planned out. Third is one is Dex, the fourth one is Sidewind, and some killer girl versus some military soldiers. Then Desolate and a soldier vigilante versus an Alpha Squadron soldier. What the hell is the Alpha Squadron, you might be asking? So, these soldiers, at least these three, Air, Dave, Raven, and Dex, were a part of the Omega Squadron, which was a covert, those covert, super secret government teams. They were a part of that, and they were experimented on to become super soldiers. Then the Alpha Squadron, the whole Omega Squadron, that whole initiative was shut down and dismantled, with them trying to get rid of the remaining soldiers, which they failed to do, obviously. Actually, one of the soldiers that supposedly died, they didn't kill all the soldiers, they got a few. His consciousness, his AI, with Sidewind's AI, since he's fully mechanical, he's an android, is based off of the best soldier of them, John Armstrong, who, like I said, died in the initiative shutdown. So what's the Alpha Squadron then? They're better versions of the soldiers that weren't taken down. Like, this organization is still live and active. Um, and this soldier vigilante that comes out of nowhere and has this story that I'm developing with Desolate in his own personal short story. He defected from them. He's from that Alpha Squadron branch, but he defected from them and will go to the new character document to see. Actually, let me rearrange these. This is Desolate's story, right? So we move this here. This here. Here it should be over in Sidewind under Dex. This Dex goes under Raven. Titan is not in this one. Titan is also not in the last one. He's only in Dex's. He's not a one-off villain though, because he becomes a part of the main Descendant plot. You'll see how. But what does Team Spock Worldwide mean? I wasn't entirely sure, but that's like an organization or like a group, not an organization, a group that invited me to be a part of their thing. There's tons of, like, thousands of streamers on it. I guess it's kind of like something where other streamers can refer to you if they see you part of the team. I don't know exactly what it does because no streamers. I don't even know any of the streamers. None of them follow me. Like, I don't know any of the streamers that are a part of the team. But it's just something I got an invite. I accepted, and we'll see if anything comes of it. But if not, I'm gonna leave it. I don't know what they do. The only thing they sent to me was an invite. Actually, I'm not gonna be honest. So let's get into the backstories of the 3 new characters I made for the Resistance Renaissance short stories. So in the 4th story, well, we already know Titan. You guys have seen Titan on the stream. Not his picture, I haven't drawn him yet, but all of this. You've seen all this. So, Killer Soldier, Experiment Girl, African American female, no names yet, chaotic good. So the Alpha Squadron believed they had the serum working and believed it was time to start testing children. Dr. Daiichi, I wouldn't call him a villain, but I also wouldn't call him a hero or anti-hero either. I guess he's an anti-hero. He's not even a hero. Shouldn't be in his name. Maybe anti-villain. He was a part of both organizations, the Alpha and Omega Squadrons. Believed they had the serum working, believed it was time to start testing children. She's the only living successful product of the experiment before Daiichi left the Omega and Alpha Squadrons as doctor. Only he knows the reason why. I gotta get rid of his real name. I was trying to think of clever animal names to give to these, the Alpha Squadron soldiers. Even though the Omega Squadron soldiers don't have actual names, or code names, their normal names were code names enough because they were so, like, ridiculous, like John Armstrong, Raven Knight, Juno Clark, Kara Rogers, Dexter Kingston, like, those are Silas Cross, yeah. So, This is the soldier vigilante that's going to be in Desolate's story. Used to be part of the Alpha Squadron. This means the Omega Squadron wasn't the only super soldier team that was put together. The difference between the Alpha Squadron, the difference being the Alpha Squadron was never dismantled like the Omega. The Alpha Squadron is still active. This character, Agent Black Wolf, I'm not too set on the name, but I kind of like it. This character defected once he saw the squadron began to test on children. So the stories connect between the soldier vigilante and the killer soldier experiment girl. And his reason for accepting in the first place, I haven't given one yet, but the villain Desolate and Agent Black, I'm just gonna call him Black Wolf or just Wolf. Black Wolf fight are is, oh no, he's not African American, is King Snake. So where did I come up with these ridiculous names for these soldiers, or their ridiculous code names? Scroll up here to show you guys. So I started creating a list. This was another thing I was writing this morning when I was supposed to be sleeping. I started coming up with like group names that would help me name characters easier. So animals that come in black, this is the entire these are going to be the names, or names close to or based off of the Alpha Squadron soldiers. So that's why Black Wolf is up here, King Snake is up there. Really a rat snake comes in black or has melanin in it, but King Snake just sounds cooler. Plus the King Snake comes in black and white, so it's kind of close. Fawn, fox, panther, lizard, seal. So yeah. And then I was struggling. I thought it would be a cool idea to put together a list of characters named after gods of death, but I was trying to figure out what villains these names might fit. I didn't want it to be a group of actual gods because that would be really confusing. I was considering renaming anybody a part of Malos' team, the one he assembles when he moves past the hero killer arc and assembles his own villain group. But I didn't want to really rename anybody because everybody kind of has their own individual personalities and stuff already set. It's not like I was going to rename Detrius or Archaeos or Mara. Even though Mara is a god of death, there is a Mara in a mythology that is a god of death. I think it's Mara, actually, because there's a long A on her name. But, the long symbol. So the Alpha Squadron agents, I picked, gods of death is kind of extreme for soldiers, so I gave the animal things to them. Monolon Squad, so Monolon being a conqueror, of course he has to have teams and armies and such. His main people consist of just his 4 horsewomen, Anjani, or consisted of his 4 horsewomen, Anjani, Zur, Ralia, and Fulgur. But that was the second closest possibility before I chose. Well, you see the final option, the final decision. Viper Squad. I have Viper's really underdeveloped right now. I don't have anything for him just yet, so I didn't see using names there. Astral's army. So Astral has one of every alien race as that makes up her army. Every alien race in the Virtuous universe, even if they're killed off, you have to assume she already took one of the young and made them part of her army. So she has, even though the Magmavorans were killed off, she has one of those. The Varanians were killed off, she has one of those as part of her army. Her army, like I said, is made up of a bunch of, an alien, single alien from every race across the Virtuous universe. So I thought the Gods of Death names were kind of extreme for that as well. So then I began to think at this point, what is sorry, I lost my train of thought. Who am I struggling to name right now? What is a large group of people, preferably villains, that I am struggling to name or develop right now? Then I looked at In the Wind. Oh man, I moved my cursor up here. I looked at the In the Wind series, and you see here we have the main villain person, who I barely came up with a name for, but they're gonna get a rename. They're going to get renamed, and then a bunch, because each of the villains from this villain group falls under a different element category. All of them, one from each. So there's one Crystallomancer, there's one Plasmomancer. You get the point. One Pyromancer makes up the villain group. So here I wrote, all members are named after gods of death and each have weapons or items resembling something from their god's names mythology. Their god names mythology. So, yeah, so I gave the gods of death, they're going to have names either exactly like or close to gods of death across all mythologies. So, yeah, that's what I did at, I want to say 7 o'clock this morning. But, wait, let me go to here. So, let's go back to Resistance Renaissance. The villain, Desolate, and the Black Wolf are going to fight. He was sent on behalf of the Alpha Squadron to take care of the defected, it's defected, right? Defected girl and the soldier vigilante, both of them defected from the Alpha Squadron, so he's sent to either take them in or take them out. But yeah, that's just to let you guys know what I'm doing off stream. Part of what I'm doing off stream. So let's get back to, I need this right now, I don't need this open. Let's get back to the Disturbed story. Okay, so last time we left off, we were teaching the players about the base virtue abilities. Each of which also have to do with the actual stats in the Roll20 sheet, in their character sheet. So everyone has 3 base abilities. Let's go to power system. I don't know why I always have a hard time writing virtue. It's the most annoying thing. It's the name of my company, but I freaking struggle to write the word every time. Virtue recharge, virtue shield, virtue scan. Recharge requires, allows you to gain back virtue. See what I mean? I did it again. You use in a battle or whatever else you might use virtue for. But it requires concentration. You can also let your virtue recharge over time naturally. Shield protects you from virtue. See, God, attacks. It is not 100% virtue proof, as it acts as armor, so you take less damage. Scan allows you to find other virtue users, but on this planet it's pretty useless unless your ability were to be one of enhancing your base virtue powers. That actually could work as a... Can you have any virtue? What do you mean? Was that a joke? I can't tell. The way you capitalize any makes me think you were making a joke. Oh, you mean like, yeah, I see how that can be confusing. You mean like charity or justice or no, it's not like that. It's like chakra from Naruto or ki from Dragon Ball Z. It's like, yeah, no, it's like a power that comes from within. It's just like it's like their essence, essentially. It's like a part of them. It's like using your soul to attack somebody, kind of like that. Only reason I called it virtue is because the company name. Plus, I haven't used virtue like that. That I haven't tossed that word around. The only time I use it is with like the metal I made up, Virtuisium, and that's not even the strongest metal. Kind of like how Marvel has certain characters that have Marvel in their name. I don't know, that's probably intentional, but not 100% what they were going for. Like Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Blue Marvel, Marvel, Marvelous. All of the ones I just said are they're... Welcome to Street Data, glad you can make it. All of the Marvel characters I just listed are real except the last one, which is ridiculous. You got Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Blue Marvel, Marvel, and I just made up Marvelous. But you could see it. You could see it. Okay, so this is still the teacher. This is still the character by the name of Teacher Man explaining the abilities. As far as we just wrote that. So what else does he need to teach them? trying to teach them everything they need to know before they roll for which exam they're taking. And I made it so the highest possible thing they can do is just fight. I'm explaining it for their benefit so they know. They might want to take notes because this is all the information they're getting. It's a literal classroom setting and they're taking a test, so they might want to take notes. The smallest chance they have is taking all 3 exams, which if they roll 100 out of a 100-sided die, just wow, like exactly 100, cool. But the highest, very highest thing they have is the fight test. So if they roll anywhere from 8 to 99 on the die, they have to fight somebody from the classroom, which is what I want it to be. But I also kind of want it to oh, what up, Rock? 18th birthday is in 4 days and you're hype. Oh, that's what's up. Will we be streaming that? I gotta remember to say happy birthday. I don't even know if you're gonna be on the stream on your birthday, but I'm gonna shout you out anyway. 4 days, hang on. What's today? Is it today still Sunday? I thought it was Monday. I'm out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Thursday. Yes, we will be live. So I'll shout you out on Thursday. I gotta make a note of that. Today is Thursday the 18th. Add up on the wall. Alright. Cool. So I think I'm gonna use this last thing the teacher man says. Virtue scan allows you to find the virtue users, but on this planet it's pretty useless unless your virtue ability were to be one of enhancing your base virtue powers. And I think I'm going to use that for one of the one-off villains we fight in the beginning. I also need to look at the list of example powers I have that I haven't given anybody that I don't want to give to a main character in the main series, like maybe muscle manipulation. That would be one. Yeah, I can use some of these here. I can also reuse some special ones I have from other series. It doesn't matter. There it doesn't matter because I have so many characters with special abilities I need to create for this story. It's I'm not gonna drive myself too crazy about it. So let me go to this similar document. My eyes hurt. Okay, unique superpowers. I think we should just make. Let me close these out. I don't need these open right now. We're not going to be writing these on stream, at least for a little while. If I write them off stream, I'll let you guys know. This. So let's scroll down to the list of one-off villains. We'll just make a list of. They don't need to have, the one-off villains don't need to have motivation or anything like that. They just need cool powers for the players to fight. Used chapter 1. take from the list of example powers I have down here. All of these are main characters, so pyrokinetic. I don't have a normal pyrokinetic in the story yet. In either story, the D&D campaign or the actual story. Shape-shifting, that should be one. Could be useful to see them fight, or interesting to see them fight. Cell manipulation. No, that's men's. Change Morphin's name to Neo. Wing manifestation. That gives you wings. Right there. You have to think of a. I might, depending on what their powers are, I might use. Oh, appreciate the bits, cheered bomb. Shouts out to you. Because it's the first chapter, I might let one of them go up against the wing manifestation guy, just because he'd be easy to fight, or I assume he'd be easy to fight. Virtue weaponization. There's a whole clan. See, I messed it up again. Weaponization. There's a whole clan of people that are able to weaponize their virtue into weapons. Well, it's kind of self-explanatory, but yeah. They're each like different weapons. Like one can make his virtue. I'm gonna charge up, let my virtue flow out. Now I'm gonna make my virtue into swords. I'm gonna charge up. My virtue is now in the shape of an axe. Mine is in the shape of a crossbow. Mine is in the shape of a bow and arrow. Mine is in the shape of a M4 with bullets. This is an example. Dermal armor, meaning armor on the surface of their skin. Phasing, that's another one I could use at some point. Zero has virtuous eyes. Infused combustion. That might be somebody like possible bounty they have to track in a side mission on probably Dagando. I see a lot of the side missions coming from Dagando. Battle planet. Ring to glove transmutation. Changes rings on hands into worn gloves that grant super strength. I like that. Don't know where I came up with that, but transmutation. And to save time, let's just Control C this. Boosters. Why am I not just using the document on the left as, well, you guys can't see everything. The document on the left as just as a reference, because I want to keep track of who's where in the actual story document. So we're down defense guy. Hey, I didn't write him as a one-off. Muscle manipulation, vibration emission. I imagine it'd be similar to Zero's shockwave generation, but it's not exact. I know it's not exact. Virtue explosion. That would not be good to use in a classroom, but I could see that could be another side mission. Maybe side mission character. Or bounty. Dimension Clause. Now, Howl from the Descended series, he's a demon. He has this ability but for one-up villain uh, in this series, I could see that being used again. Plus, I could see a character of mine having these dimension claws. That might be interesting. I wonder who I'd give that to, though. That ability. And where they'd fit. Like, Howl's not, he's not like a mainstay character in the Descendants series. He just pops up in one or two scenes, essentially. So I don't want a creative ability like that to just go to waste. So I gotta think of where a character like that would fit. It's a really creative. How? Jesus. I get proud of myself when when I come up with something creative like that. I don't know how many characters out there that actually have an ability similar or exactly this ability where you slash at the air with claws or of some sort. It could be Wolverine claws or Black Panther claws or whatever. Slash at the air, and that opens a rift to another dimension, essentially. Or they could use it as portals. I don't know. They could slash at somebody's stomach, and that opens a rift through that person's stomach, and all sorts of nastiness and weirdness can come from that. So, do I want that to be in Beyond? No, I don't think I want the character to be an alien. I'm trying to wonder if there's anybody I'm struggling with giving a creative superpower currently. Viper? No, I don't want to have that. Severe Riftblade. Riftblade is another example of this ability, except he doesn't. It's not embedded in him. I like abilities that are embedded in a person, like they don't ever. There's a slim chance of them ever losing the ability without some sort of power negator. So, for example, if Riftblade were to just lose his sword, or somebody were to take his sword, he's kind of assed out because, they took his sword. But you can't, without chopping somebody's hand off, if they slice at the air, it's not like you can take their fingernails from them in the middle of a fight, unless you're Malos. But that's beside the point. We're at the Parody Justice League here. I want to develop them further. That would be fun to do. Blood Boy, the creator's children, no, they'll have portal creation on their own. Deal Demon, I don't think I want it to be given to another demon character. I think I want it to be given to like a regular street level character, because most of the god level or above, god tier or above characters can create portals, so it's not that big a deal up there. But if somebody in like the Resistance Renaissance short stories with the soldiers would be able to do that, that's something creative there. I was gonna give it to Adriel, but nah. Like if Titan were to have it, he already has telekinesis and a bunch of other stuff. It might work for Titan. It might work for Titan. So imagine the combination of Dimension Claws and telekinesis. So you slice at the air, right? That creates a portal. Then you slice somewhere else. That creates a portal somewhere else. You grab them with telekinesis and pull them through the portal. Put them through the other side. But that's also at the same time kind of pointless, because if you can do that and pull them through a portal, you can also just push them over there with the telekinesis in the first place, so that's redundant. Yeah, that's redundant there. The Soldier Girl, I could see it here, because she doesn't have telekinesis. So if she's like killing and slicing at soldiers, say she's got like a knife of some sort, and she's like, bop, 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 stab, create a portal, toss them through with their super strength. As ooh. Maybe. I imagined a smaller character having, like a physically smaller character having an ability like this. Semigonics, no, they all pretty much have the same abilities. Alien hybrid, no, she already has all of these abilities from being a hybrid, so she's good. The Angel from the Ascended series, no. Demigodhood, no. It could just be a virtue power. Why not just think of that? It could just be a stellar that has that ability. Or it could be a one-off character in this series, and then I give it to the Soldier Girl anyway. Say she so imagine like an action sequence like this, very short. Just an example. So imagine a soldier goes to like punch her, right? Extends his fist. She pulls out a knife, stabs him in the arm. So she goes bop, and then with her other hand, claws open a portal, pulls the knife, and puts his hand through the portal. Then closes the portal and chops the dude's hand off without needing to do anything. That's pretty insane. I kind of just convinced myself. I'm going to give it to a one-off villain in this series as well, because I have a shortage of super creative powers to come up with for the players to fight in this series, especially if they're just going to be one-off. But I like that for the girl as well. So we're going to mainly use it for, since, like I said, Howl, the character who I gave this original power to here, you guys want to, Mom, you might want to look away. Intense. Yeah. You might want to look away because this is your boy. It's the freaky one you don't like. I'm going to show a picture of him to the stream. Killer. Yeah, I'll let you know when he's gone. So this is the guy here. Sorry, you need to close this up. So this guy, Howl, there's speculation that one of the villains from the first Descended book, this one here, there's speculation that this guy is Ache. I'm not going to confirm or deny that it is Ache. I'm not going to say nothing. I don't know who it is. Can you tell who it is? Because I can't. He has a mask on. But yeah, he looks real. He got, like, his body is kind of sewn together at certain joints and areas. He's got it up here too. He's got a torn that in the mask, and his gums are showing here. He's got bloody chains. Don't ask me where he got the chains from. He doesn't actually use them in fights either. They're just on him. But that's the demonic character Howl. He has the Dimension Claws. But like I said, I don't want those to go to waste, because he only pops up once or twice in the Descended series currently. So, yeah. Plus, that's just a power I feel like can be adapted and changed a whole bunch. So, like I said, with Riftblade Sword can do that. Where'd I get the name Riftblade? Rift. Slash at the air with the sword with his blade. Creates a rift. Rift blade. It's crazy, yeah. Mom, he's gone. So we have a few others we could probably borrow from other characters for this series as well. So Dimension Claw guy, let's finish copying from this list and then go to the similar document and move that over. Like I said, I'm using all of these because I don't want them to run into anybody with similar abilities until they get to space, when you start meeting people with a bunch of people with super strength, or a bunch of people with flight, or a bunch of people with, and they'll have, once they get to space, they'll have more abilities. Like the characters they're fighting will have more than one ability because they're not confined to the virtue power system, where you're only supposed to have one ability besides the main base powers. Yeah. So Dimension Claws, Grace has auditory teleportation. Portal creation, let's just put a slash next to Dimension Claws. It's kind of the same thing. Super speed, that's a very plain one. That'd probably be used towards the beginning as well. If not, any of these powers can be used anywhere, pretty much, except Red Bull gives you wings, guy. Because all he can do is manifest wings and fly around a classroom that has a ceiling cap to it. Well, just a ceiling, a literal ceiling to it. So you can grow wings and try and smack around one of the players, but other than that, Raiden hat that has crafts a light shield around it. That's Roka. Roku. I think it's Roka. I named her Roka. So she essentially has one of those Chinese rice hats, and it doesn't look like it. It's in the shape of. It looks like the shape of one, but obviously it's like made of not rice. Space. So something spacey, like stars. So she has one of those hats, and she's a controller, so she can conjure that. But normally she, like I said, the advantages with controllers, advantages and disadvantages. Their disadvantage is it takes most of their battery, most of their virtue to summon their weapon, whatever creative weapon they have as their power. But there's no time limit to how long it can be out, so the controller can just keep their weapon out, let their virtue battery recharge over time, let it get back to full, and still have their weapon out. So in case their weapon breaks in the middle of combat, because all the weapons aren't indestructible unless the weapon you have is like an indestructible sword, it can only have one ability. What was I saying? Oh yeah, in case the weapon were to break in the middle of combat, they can just use their stored virtue to create another one. The second one were to break, they're screwed, essentially, unless they have help. But yeah, so she is Kokaida. Kokaida is one of the people that work under Omnispec, the main boss of the planet. Not in this story, but of the planet. She's like the main bodyguard, and you don't know what she can do. You're just looking at her, and she's just standing in the corner all the time, like. And you're like, yo, what's up with that girl? And Kokaida's like, over here, I'm over here. That she's not your concern, over here. And then, you can't help but look out the corner of your eye, and you see that. But you're wondering what her ability is the entire time, and the ability was right in front of your face. Her ability is her hat. So this hat can craft a light shield around it. She can also throw it, because hat throwing characters are cool. And then when she throws it, the light shield, instead of coming down like this, because it's like I said, a circular hat, light shield comes down, protects her body, so she can jump in front of Kokaida. So she's like the perfect bodyguard. Jump in front of Kokaida in case anybody. What the heck? What up, Minnie? In case anybody tries anything. But she takes it off. She throws it. The light shield changes form and circles around it, so it's like a blade. circular blade. So Roka has that. Is she part of? Yeah, she's up here. Not used yet. Deoxygenization, that suck. He's up here, not used yet. Power negation, that is definitely going to be at some point. There, I'm gonna try and get them angry with that one. Temporary power swap. I can't wait till I can bring this on stream to you guys, because that'll be fun. You know, you're gonna meet everybody. Well, you guys have already met Asan, and I don't think Max was on my stream, but Max pops in here sometimes. And then Alina, she's another player. And then I'm not sure if Chase is going to play. It might be only 3 players or possibly 2, because I need players that can keep a consistent schedule. Like you guys see me stream. I've been streaming every day. Every day I promised for an hour for the past like 4 months. Except that 2-week break, but except Fridays, like I always say. But yeah, I need people that can keep a consistent thing. Manny, it's almost, shouldn't you be in bed, Manny? You should be asleep, Manny. Temporary power swap, that'll be 1. Power mimicking will be another. Power for a one-off character to use. Omnispect has Virtue Steal, Virtue Erase. So they erase the amount of virtue a character has. They like chop away at it. Maybe his name should be Chopper. Stupid name, but as far as names go, I'm not gonna get creative with excuse me. I'm not gonna get creative with these names. They're going to be ridiculous names, but they will be memorable names. Like the teacher teaching everybody about their abilities. His name is Teacher Man. His name is Teacher Man. Virtue Erase, Illusion Eyes, that'll be 1. After Image Generation. After Images are an underrated ability. Summoning. I don't have many summoning abilities or any creative summoning abilities. I should be. I was writing and finish another. Oh yeah. Give me. I gotta look at your thing on Discord. Give me some time to. I'll get to that. Yeah. Alright, so that's the example powers we took down from characters that are going to be one-off. Let's take from here. Terrakinesis. That's just Geokinesis, essentially, kind of. We can use that. I don't think we have any main characters or main villains that do that. No, that weaponized stuff wouldn't fall under Virtue. Well, the arms. Headphones. Sound canceling headphones. You have noise canceling headphones, but sound canceling, meaning you can make yourself deaf. That doesn't make much sense now that I think about it. No, I know why he has that. I forgot. He has that because he can make. He makes himself deaf because of his sonic scream makes his own ears bleed. That's why I remember. Hexagons, yeah, those were creative. I think I'm gonna use those. What would that fall under? Probably controller. It's 2 a.m., but I was really deep in a writing mindset. This time it was dialogue based, and I was in the zone. Alright, it's alright. You don't need to do it in a rush at this point. I'm just writing doodads that I hope people find fun to read. Well, that's what we're all doing, aren't we? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Welcome to. Welcome, maybe. Welcome, maybe. Welcome. Everybody get that reference? Am I alone and looking insane here? Probably. Characters that we run into, that we're probably going to run into, I won't copy abilities like Vicarious Ulti Revolvers, which would be a controller ability. Maze we're definitely running into. I actually wrote them in already. She's one of the cops that arrests the players at some point. Caratina's Infectious Touch. Yes, that would fall under the Touching Taters. I don't need to copy all of the... I'll write down all the classes for him. Double damage, that would be a booster class. So just take back whatever damage they took and dish it back out. Oxygen Siphon, we already have Suck for that. I think for this campaign, his name is actually going to be Suck. With 3 C's. I kind of want to name the Dermal Armor guy Thick. You know, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun with this. Thick. Dermal Armor, and then not used. And for not used yet. Purple gives you wings, dude. What's his name gonna be? Wingo? Let's say used chapter 1. Let's base virtue power booster. Shoot, we need a stupid name for him too. Wingman. That's the wing manifestation guy's name. Wingman. Like I said, I am not trying with these names at all. I am not spending days upon days trying to come up with combinations and piecing together parts of other words to make the perfect name. I'm not doing that for these one-off characters at all. And like I said, I'm stealing from my own other characters that have creative powers. So we got Wingman, and then the base virtue power booster. Virtue 2. Don't ask. So you got the base virtue power level, but then he puts it at the next level, level 2, so his name is Virtue 2. So these are the notes. Where are the roles here? So we got Virtue 2, characters in the scene, and Wingman. I feel like Pydo could be an actual character in this series at some point, which is why I didn't give him that ridiculous of a name. Pydo, if you replace the I with a T, it becomes pedal, and then that's the back half of the word centripetal, which refers to his virtue controller ability, which is the bat swinging. So the more he swings his bat, the more stored power he has for the next time the bat makes contact with the physical object. So we could say, yeah. So because I don't know the player's abilities just yet, I'm gonna need them to decide once we get close to the end of the second D&D campaign we're doing, which is off stream, I will pair them off here for the exam. It's gonna be an easy fight for all of them, pretty much. Let's hope. Thick. I think I shall go to bed. My eyes are on what is it? Our H's? Have a good day, everyone. Alright, peace out. Thank you for stopping by. Actually, we're about to end the stream, but I want to finish copying over the unique powers. Luminous arms, that shall be one. So Luminous has glowing whenever he has tattoos, but whenever his tattoos glow up, whenever his tattoos get the glow up, he gets abilities. What would that be? Probably self-mutator. Either self-mutator or booster. They're changing the tattoos on their body, and the tattoos give them abilities, so it would probably fall under self-mutator. Booster, I think that's booster. It could be booster or self-mutator. Let's put that under booster post. Oh, aching. See you. Have a good night. Sleep. Oral damage consumption, that's the double damage thing as well. Dimension claws, we already added that. Wraps from Vice. That would fall under the controller. Need more summoning classes. Twin laser pistols, that would also fall under controller, but Axel's in the story, so no. Sword kinesis, light shield, that's Roka's, similar to Roka's ability, so no. Dimension splitter from Axis. Dimension splitter is actually anti-sword. Axis, I changed the name to Rai, actually. And his sword, I need to change the name. Black Sand, I have carried Shockwave, that's 0. Plasmic Holy, yeah. And then Shockwave is 0 down here. Alright. So, we now have a list. We're moving along. It may not feel like it, because I'm not writing a whole bunch, but we're moving along. We have a huge list, a decent sized list of characters we can now, throw at any point in the story. Throw in at any point in the story the one-off villains for the players to fight at some point. Next time, probably tomorrow's stream, we're probably just going to end up giving them a bunch of ridiculous names and then continue writing, because now we have the main 4 that the 4 players are going to fight in the beginning, hopefully, because I put them here. If they end up rolling one of the top 2, then I'll place these 4 somewhere else. But yeah, so I'm going to end the stream. Give me a few minutes to set up, and we will be back with Outlast 2 for about an hour or so. I am really hoping that game ends soon, because I am not looking forward to playing it every day. We might have to take a break at some point and play Arkham or something. So let's do our plugs and get on out of here. This hour went by fast. But that's what I like. The hour should feel like it goes by fast. Because sometimes, when I was writing Monolon's story, oh wait, my thing froze. Hang on, my camera froze. Oh no, y'all. Well, that's fine. We're gonna, oh no. Let's end the stream. You guys can still see my book, right? Yeah, you can. Can I reset my webcam? Refresh device. There we go. Oh, look at that. Alright, let's do our plugs and get out of here. So, if you want to buy my first book, Descended Awakening, paperback, $20, Kindle Unlimited, free $99, Mice $99, Kindle Digital $10. Make sure you give it a rating. If you give a rating and review, I shout out like these lovely people down here. If you want to read the first 5 chapters of the book that's available on Wattpad.com and Scribblehub.com, please consider subscribe on YouTube if you're watching this, and because that's free. And if you want to donate, there's a link in the description now. There's a link in the panels below. There's also a link to the Patreon in the panels below, and both the link to PayPal and the Patreon are in the description on YouTube. Other than that, we'll be back for Outlast 2 in a few minutes, so give me a minute to get set up because I gotta move my laptop and my mic and everything. But we'll be back. I'm gonna sign off for writing for now, and yeah, this is JBase Phoenix once again. Oh wait, shouts out to Maney and Moms and Lil Bro in the chat. Alright. This is JBase Phoenix once again, signing off.